Today, we're exploring mansplaining, but we're actually going to mansplain mansplaining so hard that we may send feminism back at least until the Stone Age. Oh, Donald Trump and batteries not included. Dear Rick, there is a guy in our office who, well, the only way I can explain him is that he's a mansplainer. Now, don't get me wrong, he's not a make up stuff so it sounds good kind of mansplainer. He's more of a, well, I think he's got a master's degree in something, I think. No, he's one of those guys who seems to have just enough YouTube knowledge about enough topics to be able to get involved in a conversation. Any advice? Signed, Jackie, with an IE. Well, Jackie with an IE, let me explain something. No, wait, just a second. I have studied this. I haven't actually studied it, but I have consumed a non-zero number of YouTube videos on the subject, and I once looked at an article in Psychology Today while I was sitting in a dentist waiting office. So I get it. Now, like many mansplainers, I think your guy is just misunderstood. Now, I understand your point of view, but it's a rookie mistake, and a lot of people make it, so don't feel bad. Whoa, hold on there, Chief. Are you really sitting there trying to be the face of mansplaining? Look, I'm just breaking down the, oh no, you? Mister, I read it on a juice bar menu once. You couldn't explain a carburetor to save your life. And that's me being polite. That's not even. Now listen, I am not against mansplaining. Sometimes women need to hear the facts, even though the facts are mostly a gut feeling. But you're the guy who says, well, actually, and then gets his own point fact-checked by a dog. I just, stop right there. I'm going to pull you back into Rick shape before you embarrass yourself so bad that HR has to build a whole new training module just for you. I'll tell you what, let that Miles fella do the rest of this beginning part. It's right up his alley. Oh, good Lord, now I'm the voice of reason. Okay, you're right, I'm wrong. I'll just sit here sipping this fine beverage and we'll let a mansplainer explain things to me. Hey, Miles, what you got?
Of course. I'd be happy to explain the categories. After all, I had to explain them to you first. Okay, let's begin with the, well, actually guy. This one's easy to spot. He lurks silently in conversations, waiting to pounce on any factual error, real or imagined. You could say, I loved watching the moon rise last night, and he'll materialize beside you like a condescending specter. Well, actually, it was technically a waxing gibbous. No one asked, Craig. No one ever asked. Next is the topic hijacker. You bring up something totally normal, like your weekend hike, and suddenly he's leading a TED Talk on the migratory patterns of squirrels. Every conversation is a trampoline for him to launch into something semi-related, yet deeply irrelevant. He doesn't mean to dominate the conversation, he just needs to. And then there's the real TED Talk guy. Oh boy, this one thinks he's delivering insights that will shift your entire worldview. He uses finger steeples, long pauses, and phrases like, let's unpack that. He has a PowerPoint on his iPhone that he's not afraid to use. He explains to you your own experiences like he's the keynote speaker at a leadership summit for people who didn't ask for a keynote speaker. And then there's the let's make this weirdly personal guy. Any topic, and I mean any topic, becomes an excuse to tell you about his brief, semi-relevant life experience. You can mention you're having car trouble and he'll say, that reminds me of the time I almost caught a goat in Costa Rica. Why, Kyle? Why does that remind you of that? Anyway, Jackie, the real question is, what type are you dealing with? Is he some sort of horrifying hybrid species? Well, actually, TED Talk chimera who grows louder the more irrelevant he becomes? In either case, I'll walk you through it.
You know what, Miles? I have this now. And in fact, I have this now with actual facts. Did you know there's a 2018 University of Cambridge meta-analysis? Meta-analysis meaning they reviewed a whole bunch of other studies and then they acted like they invented the topic. They examined conversational dominance patterns between men and women in mixed gender professional settings. It concluded that men interrupted women 33% more often than they interrupted other men. And when women attempted to speak on topics that they themselves were experts in, men were statistically more likely to correct them with information of lower factual accuracy than the woman's original statement. All right, that's enough out of you, college boy. You're about to mansplaining so bad that they're going to have to open up a support group. Let me handle this, because this here is a delicate art form, like filleting a catfish without getting the mud vein. You see, mansplaining ain't just interrupting a woman to tell her she's wrong. Oh no, it's a whole dang ecosystem. It's like a rooster thinking the sun won't come up unless he's there to tell everybody about it. And just like that rooster, he's loud, he's proud, and he's wrong about 90% of the time. Now, the first ingredient in a good mansplain is confidence. You don't need facts. Facts just slow you down. You need that chest out, chin up, I saw a guy do this once kind of swagger. That's how you can explain to a heart surgeon how you wouldn't have done the bypass, even if your only medical training is watching 3 seasons of Grey's Anatomy. Second ingredient is timing. You gotta swoop right in when she's in the middle of making a point, so you can save her from the pain of finishing her own sentence. You get bonus points if you start in with well actually, or now just hold on a second there, little lady. And third, and this is key, you gotta personalize it. It doesn't matter what she's talking about. You gotta tie it back to the same story, well, a story about you. She could be explaining the stock market crash in 19 and 29, and you'll find a way to say, it reminds me of the time I put all my lawnmower money into Beanie Babies. Now, if you do all that right, loud voice, bad timing, self-centered tangent, congratulations. You've just completed a textbook mansplain. And if she calls you out on it, well, that's when you hit her with the old, let me finish. Because nothing says respect like demanding uninterrupted airtime to dig yourself in deeper. That's it. No charts, no studies, just the way the good Lord intended, with more words than anyone asked for and a firm belief that you're doing her a favor. So, you're welcome, little lady. Oh, damn. I'm sorry. That was actually pretty easy to fall down into mansplaining. Let me start my 14-part apology to explain what actually happened. Oh, hey, Future Rick here. Let's give our boy a chance to finish his beverage and maybe let the buzz kick in. He tends to do a little better when that happens. The word of the day is Patreon. And the link is beveragesrick.com. And don't worry, membership is free. There is a companion video to This Fine Here Story. This Fine Here Story? I think you know what I mean. Every video on the YouTube channel, most of them at least, when I think about it, get a companion video on Patreon. Now, we do let them loose into the wild a couple months later, but you want to know about it now. You want to see what's happening in Rick's real life. Maybe listen to him mansplain his way out of it. Anyway, membership is free. You can pay for it if you want. Just saying, hint, hint. Back to the story. Okay, mea culpa, mea culpa. I'm back. Now look, truth be told, there are some of us Neanderthals who are self-aware enough to know that when we've slipped past the event horizon of the gravitational black hole of mansplaining to know when we've gone too far. God, that was a weird example. You know, the dangerous part of that trap is that many of us men, like those of us who understand the event horizon, we just go too far. But then it stops becoming I want to make a point and help educate you, and it becomes an act of survival. It's like having an anvil chained to your ankle and someone just threw you in the deep end. So yes, let's go back to explaining what we were explaining before the camera decided to take a shit on itself. So, in the interest of time and, well, your sanity, I'm going to stop explaining mansplaining and we're going to get to the heart of your question. Can you stop this dude in the office from explaining his life away and annoying you to death? Well, I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is there are options. The bad news is, well, none of them are good. Option 1. Carry a referee whistle with you and perhaps a flag, and right when he's in the middle of the meat of it, blow that as hard as you can, throw a flag, and give him 15 yards for being an idiot. Hey, sorry for the sports analogy. I'm a guy. What can I say? Option 2. Respond with a hearty, "That's fascinating," and then just turn and walk away. And option, excuse me, hang on, I gotta, me. Yep, that helped the vocal cords. Option 3, you say he's an office worker, which means you've probably got whiteboards in the office. Right in the middle of one of his soliloquies, simply write in very large, colorful letters, "Wrong!" with an exclamation point, and walk away. So yeah, like I said, I had options, but none of them are really good. So yeah, my real advice is actually pretty simple. Earbuds and Spotify. Now, there's actually 2 parts to that. The earbuds, since it's not just you that's suffering, the entire office is putting up with this guy. I strongly suggest going down to Family Dollar and see if you can buy the earbuds in bulk. Oh, and Spotify, that's actually a little bit easier to solve, at least for now. Get 1 subscription for the office and everybody shares it. Spotify hasn't got around to doing that, we're going to charge you for every sign-in thing like Netflix does. At least not yet. Oh, and Jackie, with an IE, Spotify, it's a streaming music service. What that means is you get your music downloaded to you through the internet. You know, file servers and networks. It's like you used to go down to the store and buy a CD. Well, now the music comes to you. You don't own it yet, but still. Wait, don't interrupt me. I'm not quite finished yet. I gotta tell you all about how routers work.
Subscribe for more videos.
Stepped out when a